There's only one. There will be only one. And I swear, if he gives me a wrong thing, I'ma flip shit.
It has to be you.
Thank God.
It's you, Kyo. You killed Angie.
What the fuck? So it's true!
Well, that was obvious. Such a boring, obvious answer.
You killed both of them. Why? Why did you kill them?
In terms of pure logic, only one victim was necessary to win.
Why? Why you killed them both?
I think one of the murders was an accident.
An accident?
That's right. It wasn't part of the plan.
Huh? Which one?
The murder that was an accident. Angie?
That's it!
Really?
Angie's murder was an accident.
What? Tenko wasn't
No,
accident?
Tenko was planned, definitely.
That's right. Kyo originally planned to kill someone with the seesaw trick. But while he was making preparations in the empty room, Angie walked in.
Oh. Oh.
So he decided to kill her in order to keep her from talking.
She just happened to walk in on the culprit setting up and was killed.
Then, he should have just stopped there. Once he killed Angie, there was no reason for him to kill Tenko!
You only needed to kill one for this game. Killing two is pointless. If you get bonus points for killing more, then sure. Otherwise, it leaves more clues behind.
Why, Kyo? Why you killed two of our friends?
What is it? What on earth are you talking about? No, I'm not the culprit. So, why is everyone looking at me like I am?
What do you mean?
Why? Why are they? Why is it? Calm yourself, Korekio.
Who is that?
Yes. You mustn't raise your voice. You mustn't stutter.
Who is that?
You mustn't lose composure. You mustn't become flustered. You mustn't waver. Look at their horrid faces. This sorry lot is not worth agonizing over.
Either Korekio has multiple personalities, or he just really likes to wear lipstick.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
It's just me, or does his physique change a little bit every single time he pulls down his mask?
There he goes again. What the hell's wrong with him?
It almost seems like he's talking with someone. Someone? He's just talking to himself! And why the hell is he wearing lipstick?
No matter how loudly you protest, this is a trivial matter. I will never acknowledge your allegations. Not a single one of them. For you see, there is no evidence that I killed Angie. No, I will not acknowledge it. I will only acknowledge facts, true events. I won't acknowledge fiction, mystery. I won't acknowledge your deductions or guesses. Well said. Good job, Korekio.
Who is that?
Yes, thanks.
Creeps me the fuck out!
No evidence. There's no evidence that he killed Angie?
You're wrong. There is evidence.
What? You do realize bluffs like that won't work, yes?
The weapon that was used to knock Angie unconscious in the empty room. That weapon tells us the whole story, Kyo.
It's a weapon, it's a sword, it's a katana.
That's not possible. I think you may have misunderstood. Apologize. Come on, apologize. 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 Come on. Apologize. 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 Apologize.
Seriously, what the hell's happening?
I'm confused like you are, buddy. I have no idea what's happening with Kyo. But I know what weapon he used on Angie. I have to prove it to him. Golden katana.
I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong. Yes, I'm not the culprit. So I have nothing to confess. I have nothing to admit. You are simply wrong. Yes, I'm not the culprit. So I have nothing to confess.
Doing good.
Why must you force your delusions on us?
Your
logic. That's merely a delusion. Well said, Korekio. To continue this debate is meaningless. Why must you force your delusions on us? Your logic. That's merely a delusion.
Doing good, doing good, doing good.
I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Korekio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot.
Shit.
Apologize. 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 I
Shit,
told
really?
you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me.
There you go.
Korekio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot.
Shit.
Apologize. Apologize. Apologize.
Fuck.
Apologize. I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Korekio speaks the truth. Such a sorry lot. Apologize. 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 I told you I am not the culprit. So why are you looking at me like that? You're all wrong, not me. Korekio speaks the truth. Such a...
Good. Final blow.
You have no proof that Korekio is the killer. It ends here.
More floorboard. There we go. Oh, okay. We got loot Korekio there at the end. Oh.
Kyo hit Angie with the same floorboard used in the seesaw trick.
I see. And how do you know the floorboard was the murder weapon?
Because it had blood on it. That's why.
There was a small patch of dried blood on the underside of the floorboard.
Angie's
I
blood?
thought about it towards the end as I was doing the rhythm game. I was thinking, wait a minute, that's not a golden katana, is it? There was one thing we missed out.
Blood that spattered there when the culprit struck Angie with the board. But that's not the only evidence that she was hit with that floorboard. There's also the bloodstain under the floor to consider. For that to be there, the floorboard must not have been in place at the time of the attack.
Good point. Had the floorboard been in place, her blood wouldn't have splattered beneath it.
Kyo's earlier confession is further evidence that the floorboard was used.
How?
If the weapon used to hit Angie is the floorboard from the seesaw trick,
It means the culprit knew about the seesaw, so the same person killed Tenko and Angie.
Oh. Got him go mental.
I believe that while Kyo was setting up the seesaw, he was holding the board when Angie walked in.
And he cold-cocked her with the floorboard.
Oh.
all you can do now is accept it. You even confessed to Tenko's murder already.
Oh, it's true. This is the truth.
Unfortunately, Himiko.
Looks like we're almost at the end. All right, Shuichi. I'll leave the finale to you. Bring down the house.
Shuichi, please, put an end to this.
I will, Himiko. I will. Don't worry.
For Angie and Tenko's sake. End this class
I
trial.
will. Let's do it.
I understand. I'll go over everything one more time. Kyo, I want you to confess. No, I will force you to confess.
That confident look again. There we go. Shuichi just being a badass. Let's do this. Culprit with a saw in the empty room. What do we have to work with here right now at the moment here? Out of all the stock images, we have sickle place to kill, hit the sliding lock. And we have stock duct tape. That's what we have to work with here in particular. Let's go ahead and go through this here. What was compressed in the injury of Angie's head while she was carried? This. Good. Okay, good. Stuck duct tape was doing it. We can get a panel for this as well. Let's go and do this here, yo. The gold leaf katana. Nope, you're not gonna worry about that. Remove floorboard. What weapon will knock Angie unconscious? Remove floorboard that will knock her unconscious. We know that. Saw the culprit. Saw the empty room. Nope, that's not any of it. Small stone Himiko brought. Okay. Weapon that killed Angie was a katana. Remove the gold leaf katana. No. What effigy was stabbed with a katana? Nope, we don't know about that particular. Handle the spinning katana. It hit the sliding lock. Definitely. It goes right here. Good. That's good right here. That's good. Then, when Angel was found, who unlocked the door? It was Himiko that did it. Take a rest forehead on during the seance. That was this pebble right here, the stone. Sickle placed. Yep. What weapon did the culprit set up on the iron cage? The sickle. There we go. Good, we're doing good right now. We're doing really good right now. Doing really good right about now. Gotta go to the very beginning here. Culprit with a saw in the empty room. Nope. Nope, none of that. Gonna kill Angie. She stabbed katana. Nope, none of that. Besides, Kokichi was responsible for his experience with candles. Nope, that's not it. Culprit able to move around darkness. Yep, we're gonna do this here. There we go. Move the golden leaf katana to go to one of these. Stab with the katana. Whose effigy will stab with the katana? I'm pretty sure we have to use the other thing. What weapon killed Angie? It had to be this, the katana here. There we go. So a bunch of other locks are unlocked as well. Cut crosspiece onto the floor. It's gonna be in the very beginning here. Who was the culprit with the saw in the empty room? Unlock everything here as well. Experience the flame. We have stomp hard on the floorboard. We have stab Kaede effigy. The footsteps contaminating the scene. And Kokichi's lockpicking. There we go. Who was the culprit with the saw in the empty room? Cut crosspiece under the floor. There we go. That's it. Good. Got the whole fit. It's not like in the second game where some of them just will kind of throw it in there as like a scapegoat kind of thing. This one, whose effigy was stabbed with a katana? Kaede's effigy was stabbed with a katana here. Let's keep going throughout here. When Angie's body was found, who unlocked the door? Kokichi was the one to unlock the door, not Himiko, my bad. There we go. Good. Let's keep it going then. Keep it going. Who beside Kokichi was responsible for extinguishing the candles? It was Shuichi. Shuichi and Kokichi extinguished the candles. Keep going through here. Culprit approached the cage. When the culprit approached the cage, stomped hard on it. Definitely. That definitely would have been it. Yep, definitely would have been it. Good. Stomped hard on it. And then the footsteps contaminating this crime scene. There we go.
This is the truth of the case!
Hell yeah.
Let's look back at the first murder. It was late last night. The culprit was in the empty room on the 4th floor. The culprit was preparing the seance murder they had planned. To use the floorboard as a seesaw, they had to cut the crosspiece supporting it. The plan was to make the same preparations for all 3 empty rooms. This would divert suspicion away from the culprit and whoever picked a room. To cut the crosspieces, they needed a saw. I imagine they got one from the warehouse. They were planning to cut the crosspieces in all 3 rooms. However, when the culprit was working on the middle room, the unexpected happened. Angie walked into that room and saw the culprit making their preparations. She needed some fire for the ritual and had gone to the room for a candle. At that point, the culprit had not finished the setup and was just cutting crosspieces. Angie might not have concluded that it was tied to some kind of murder plan. But now that Angie had seen it, the culprit couldn't use the seesaw trick. Any other person might have just given up, but not our culprit. The culprit took the floorboard they loosened and struck the unsuspecting Angie in the head. The culprit did not want to give up on their plan and had to improvise. They wrapped duct tape around Angie's injury to stop the bleeding. Then they picked up her unconscious body and carried her to a research lab. While she was unconscious, the culprit hurried to tie up this loose end. But because they were in a hurry, they made a crucial oversight. They didn't notice the duct tape had peeled off and was under Angie's body. Without that evidence, we may never have figured out the culprit's trick. Carrying the supplies they needed, the culprit returned to the ultimate art lab. Locked the front door from inside. And took out the katana they brought from their own lab. They then stabbed Angie in the back of the neck, finally killing her. Then, to further confuse us, the culprit attempted to make a locked room mystery. First, they used rope from the warehouse and hung 4 effigies upside down.
By the way, I want to point out, remember when I said there was a lot of rope play happening with the effigies? I knew it. I knew it. I knew this was going to be something to do with this. I knew it.
There were 2 reasons for this. To overwhelm the room with an occult atmosphere. And the other was the key to locking the room. The culprit stuck the katana into Kaede's effigy near the rear entrance. And spun the effigy around to twist up the rope. After enough turns, the culprit let go and headed for the rear door. Once released, the effigy began spinning, and the gold leaf katana with it. The handle of the katana then hit the sliding lock, locking the door. A difficult trick, but remember that the lock was so loose it moved at the slightest touch. The culprit also would have had the opportunity to attempt it many times. Once complete, the door was locked, but the duct tape was left behind. Perhaps the culprit noticed it, but by that point, it was too late. The room was sealed. There was no way for them to get back inside. Then, this morning, we opened up the room and discovered Angie's body. But the culprit wasn't finished. They wanted one more murder. To do that, they manipulated us into performing this seance. Of the 3 empty rooms, the middle one was chosen for the seance. I was invited by Kokichi to take Kibo's place in the seance. Tenko volunteered to be the medium, but she never imagined it would get her killed. To perform the seance, the culprit claimed they needed something for Tenko. A small stone that Himiko had brought from the courtyard. Tenko, at the culprit's request, bowed her head until it was touching the stone. That position was instrumental in making sure the murder went as planned. Next, Kokichi and I placed the iron cage over Tenko in the middle of the magic circle. The culprit then volunteered to drape the white cloth over the iron cage. We didn't realize it at the time, but that was a deliberate decision by the culprit. They needed to set up the murder weapon that was used to kill Tenko. While they were covering the cage with a cloth, they secretly placed the sickle. Finally, 4 of us placed the wooden statue on top of the cage. The culprit used the weight of the statue to keep the murder weapon in place. After the preparations were complete, we began the seance. In complete darkness, we each stood in one corner and sang the Caged Child song. When the song finished, the soul of the dead was supposed to enter the medium. But our culprit had another plan: to commit a murder in the darkness. Right after we started singing, the culprit began making their way toward Tenko. It would have been quite difficult to do in total darkness, but our culprit had a guide. They used the lines of the magic circle drawn with salt. The culprit felt for the salt and used it to guide them along. And when the culprit reached the center of the circle, they found the floorboard that had its crosspiece cut off the night before. Then lifted up their foot and stomped down hard on the floorboard. The floorboard lifted up like a seesaw and pushed Tenko's body up toward the ceiling of the cage. Tenko was stabbed in the back of the neck by the sickle on the top of the cage. She was killed right before our eyes, and we didn't even see it. After committing the crime, the culprit followed the salt back to their corner. Finished the ritual and had us light the candles. We followed the culprit's directions and removed the equipment used for the seance. And discovered Tenko's body. And while we were all focused on the body, the culprit picked up the sickle and dropped it under the floor through the hole in the corner of the room. Ironically, the final step of the murder was unwittingly carried out by us. The culprit had planned the murder so that we would unintentionally destroy some evidence. That evidence was the magic circle that the culprit used to navigate in the dark. However, the culprit didn't know that Kibo had taken a picture. He really saved us. Without that, we wouldn't know what changes were made to the circle. But now we know for certain, and we know the culprit drew the magic circle. Korekio Shinguchi, the ultimate anthropologist. You're the culprit behind these murders. That's where my detective work leads us. It all fits.
Ah, finally. Oh my god, that was a very stressful trial. We figured everything out. But the one thing we don't know yet is Korekio's exact motive. Why did he go all out throughout this plan? We know why Kaede did it. We know why Kirumi did it. But why Korekio? What did he want to do? Stop freaking out now, you already been caught.
Sweet Korekio. There are times when it's necessary to admit defeat.
And who is that?
Admit? Yeah. Okay.
So you finally admit you did it.
Unfortunately. Yes. Yes. It's unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. My one regret, my only regret, was not being able to make 100 friends.
What?
100 friends?
It was my dream to make 100 friends. Oh, it's so unfortunate! I was so close to 100!
What are you talking about? I do not understand a word of this.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? Let's vote for this kooky bastard and be done with this already! Roger that! One voting time! Coming
I hope he explains that.
The heart racing excitement as...
The heart racing excitement!
As the blackened and the spotless finally face off,
Wow.
It's voting time!
Madem probably feels so... Oh god. He's gonna kill somebody. Madem's killing somebody. Alright, Korekio. It's already been decided, my man. Voting in Korekio.
Now then, it seems the voting has finished. Let's see the result.
He's gonna vote for us, isn't he? Everybody vote for him. Do I do anything? There you go.
Who'll be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
I think we made the right choice. That's not what we didn't, did we? There we go. We did it. Ah, that was stressful as hell. Yo, that was actually really stressful. That was a stressful ass trial. Oh my god. Okay, Korekio, you better tell us what happened exactly. Still got an A! I will take it. I gotta be at the end doing the closing. Really? Gotta be doing closing? Are you serious? Probably didn't do fast enough. But hey, I got A everywhere else? Wow, you serious? I got A everywhere else. Huh, interesting. And B only doing closing. I'm pretty sure I messed up a lot of parts there, to be honest. Anyway.